Proud of our kids, tonight they came out, played really well, accomplished a major goal of ours. Getting the bowl eligibility is something that you work really hard for, and doing it 6 years in a row is something that we're proud of. I'm more proud of this team because of the things that they've been through and how many times the ball just hasn't bounced our way this year. But this team's resilient, and they're tough, and they believe in each other. And when you do that, good things are going to happen for you. And I know the kids, and I know the character in our building, coaching staff included. And I know that there's a lot of really good things ahead for our program. And I'm excited that we finished it the way we did tonight. We earned another game, which is always a goal, and we're looking forward to figuring out where we're going to play. We don't really care about any of that. We're happy to have earned another game, and that's something that our kids have done a great job of making sure they put themselves in position to do this.
From a confidence standpoint, getting that extra game, what does that do for you guys, knowing that the season's not over, we get one more opportunity, especially to go above 500?
Well, there's a lot of things that it does for you, okay? Number one, aside from this year and all those things, you basically get a whole nother spring session of practices with your team. And we have a lot of kids that are coming back next year. We have a young roster. We had 13 seniors that walked today. 11 of them are scholarship players. So we got a lot of kids coming back. So the next few weeks, however long that is before we get to play, that's a big deal as far as the development of your roster. And you get to spend a lot of time with those young guys as well. I think it's huge because it is confidence and it is momentum. And, we hit a rough stretch at a tough time in the year, where we had some things that were going on that, we had an opportunity to win some games and we let some of them slip away a little bit. But our kids never really quit playing. They never quit training. They never quit working. So tonight to go out and execute and play well for the most part is something that, it does build a lot of confidence. I think last week to a certain extent did. I thought we played well, not well enough to win, and nobody really wants to hear about that. But that was one of the better games I thought we played as a team. And, our kids kind of felt it. And, tonight we were able to go out there and turn it into a win.
I know they only won one of the 3 games Chandler started, but I don't know that he could have played much better in these 3 games. And he did it again today.
I can tell you we didn't lose any of them because of him. All right. Chandler's played his tail off for our team. And he gave us a chance to win in every game that he played in. And that's what your job is as a quarterback. Our kids have played well around him in spots, and there are some times where we could have done some things a little bit better around him and didn't. He gave us a chance to win every game that he started. And, it's a rarity in the landscape of where we are now to have a kid like him that stuck around and said, this is home. I love it here. I just want to compete and I want to help my team. And you never want anyone to get hurt. That's certainly never part of the plan. But I can tell you that whenever Chandler got his opportunity, there wasn't one person in our building that flinched, including him, because he knew he was ready and he knew he was going to play well. And tonight, he said he set a school record for completion percentage. Yeah, rightfully so. He deserved that. So could not say enough about how proud I am of him.
There's a thing. From the last couple of years that I've you as the play caller, when Ben's in there, when Zion's in there, when Chandler's in there, for your ability to call those plays, like just your level of confidence and just him being able to go out there and obviously he executed tonight. I think is probably as well as I've seen any of the 3 quarterbacks in the last couple of years.
Yeah, you kind of, this is the 3rd game we win this year with a different quarterback. All right, and we've had to kind of adjust offensively for all 3 of them. They're all a little different. But Chandler has earned confidence over time. Trust is earned, and he's played really well for us throughout his career here. And, to be honest with you, where we were as a team with, hell, look at the guys, we got out tonight. All right. We knew we were going to have to throw the ball. We knew he was going to have to play well. It's not one of those deals where you can just go hand it off and hide the quarterback. So he was going to have to play well. And we knew that, and he knew that. And he did play well enough for us to win every one of those games. And, that's the job that a quarterback has to do. And, as a play caller, you have to call the plays that have to be called in the moments that you feel they need to be called. Whenever you hit 18 out of 20 or whatever he was tonight, yeah, you feel pretty good about calling any of it.
Neal had kind of a career night, 2 touchdowns. He got open, broke tackles. Just talk about his development as a player since he first arrived here to this point now.
the hard thing about senior day, and so many people don't understand it, is it's not just a player that goes across that field. There's a story with every single one of them. And every one of them comes into us at a different place in their life and their development and maturity. And you get to be a part of watching them grow into adults. And, Neil Johnson is one of those ones that, when he came in here, oh my God, it was a struggle every day. Every day in every way. And he made so many changes in his life, and he made so many changes that naturally his progression is going to be there. We knew how talented he was. That was never a question. He turned into a leader on this team. He turned into somebody that our younger guys try to be like. And he shared his story, and I've told him, I said, the value in what Neil has done here is he wasn't perfect when he got here. And he did screw some things up, and he did have to learn. He did have to go through some tough things. But he was willing, and he's mature enough now to share the story and to tell them, hey, you're not going to be perfect. And, there's a process to this thing. And through it all, football's been important to him every step of the way. And through the ups and the downs of his career here, the guy has just continued to work and continued to play. And I was happy that it worked out the way it did for him tonight. I'm proud of the season that he's had this year. He's been a staple for us this year. And in every game we went into, we had plans, for him to get the ball, to get touches. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. You would never know the way that he is. He just shows up every day and works. The guy loves to practice. All right, he loves to play. And he's learned to love everything else that goes with it too. And that's why Neil's become such a good player.
Offensive line, they were pretty impeccable. They only gave up 2 sacks. Chandler had plenty of time in the pocket. You guys were able to run for 230 yards on the ground. I know the offensive line has been banged up throughout the season, but really strong way to kind of cap off the season, regular season.
It was because, they do a lot of things up front that do give you some trouble. There wasn't a whole lot of sleep this week worrying about some of the pressures and movements and things that they had up front. Those guys handled it really well. Coach Nord and Coach Bryant Ross did a phenomenal job of getting them ready to play. I thought Coop did an unbelievable job. For a true freshman to come in there, the guy is just, he's just got his heart rate doesn't vary. He's constant, the same guy all the time. And he's gotten in there and he's played well for us the last couple of weeks. Landon is a guy for us that's been a staple at center and as a leader. And Coop's just stepped right in. And, tonight we didn't miss a beat. So I was really proud of those guys up front. I thought they did a great job. Our coaching staff put together a really good plan, and our guys executed it very well.
Got time for a couple more?
Coach Bill Davis, was this his 4th game as far as I know?
Mm-hmm.
And just talk about what he showed out there today, and also is it true that he can play in the bowl and it won't count, or can he?
The postseason no longer counts, so he can play in a bowl game and be fine, which is a good thing. I think that's a good rule, because in the past you were always trying to juggle when you play him. Do you save him for a bowl game? Do you not? Now you don't have to worry about that. You can play them in 4 regular season games, and the conference championship and bowl game are just extra. Line you out, as we say down here. I think everybody in here gets that. So, Bill is tremendously talented, and he always has been. We were fortunate this year. We have a good running back room. We have guys in there that were seasoned. And for Bill, playing high school running back and then coming to college is it's a different position. In high school, they don't really ask you to pass pro, all right? In high school, they certainly don't ask you to know the protections. Half the time, the quarterback's back there. He tells you who you got. It's a little bit more complex than that, and then you got to learn how to do it against good players. And there's a lot of things that Bill, like most young backs, had to figure out a little bit. I'm proud of him because all year he's continued to get better and better. Tonight, where we knew we weren't going to have Draylon because of some family issues going on, we were planning on going with Zylan and Kerbode, and obviously that changed a little bit in the course of the game. And so, Bill got an opportunity, and he prepared really well this week, and he took advantage of those opportunities. And, the guy's going to be a really good football player for us. He's got to continue to grow up and to mature and to develop and all those things. But if he continues on the track that he's on, he's going to be an excellent player for us.
Coach, with everything that happened today, senior day, last game at Cajun Field, getting the opportunity to become bowl eligible. What did today mean for you, being, especially with you being an alum and from here and all those things like that?
You know, there's a lot of things about this job that are, you can't put it into words. The opportunity that I've gotten here, I couldn't be prouder to be in this position that I'm in. But then there's a lot of things that go with it too, and emotion and just, it's not just a job. You know, it means more to me than it probably does to most people. To me, winning this game was a must-win because of all those things that you talked about. A senior group that, I mean, how do you not send them out with a win? You know, Cajun Field, where I've personally had so many great memories there and things that I'm proud of and gotten to be a part of, you know, to the beginning of a new stadium and all those things. I mean, it just, you know, it didn't feel like another game. It felt like a little bit more than that to me. And, you know, luckily our staff feels the same way. They kind of mirror my feeling. Our players felt the same way. And I'm grateful for that because I know not everybody played here. And I know it's not that way maybe for everybody, but they act like it. And I appreciate that.
Anything else?
12 or 14 teams in the Sun Belt are eligible for postseason. How big is it for you to be a part of that 12?
I've talked a lot about how proud I am of our conference and where we've gone and being a part of it. You know, I was here as a player whenever everybody wanted to get out of it. You know, we had one bowl tie-in. You know, we finished bowl eligible 3 out of 4 years that I played here and didn't get a bowl game because we didn't have any tie-ins. Nobody really wanted our teams in the bowl games. To a point now where people want to be in our conference. It's a great conference with great coaches, with great players. And I think for 12 of our teams to be bowl eligible, I think that speaks to the caliber of play in the conference. From my standpoint, the only thing I cared about was my boys getting to play in a bowl game. And that's all that I really cared about. And I'm thrilled for them because I certainly wasn't ready for it to be over. Not with this group, man. It's a blessing when you get to go to work every day and be happy to walk through the door, no matter what time that is. And we have a group that makes it a lot of fun to do that.